What is going on, everybody? Come on in. What's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to talk about this idea of being sick, right? I think a lot of people have this notion that when they get sick, it's like the world is ending, right? So I'm going to challenge your thought process here because it's something that I had to do. And I think I can help you understand and get you out of this like matrix of thinking that you're sick because you're not sick. And I know exactly why people say and where this word sick came from, I believe. So you're not sick, you're toxic. What do I mean? So, if you think about it, being sick gives you the opening to do whatever you want, right? It gives you this opening to treat your body like trash, to eat junk food, to eat cake and candies and sugar and drink a lot of alcohol and just treat your body horribly, right? That's what being sick allows. Because when you hear the word toxic, what do? You don't want to treat your body poorly because you don't want to be full of toxicity, right? So, and I'm going to be totally honest with you because I think it's important that you hear it straight from the horse's mouth what has happened to me and why I believe this to be completely and 100% true, and why I think that your anxiety, your depression, your negative attitude, all this stuff lies in being not sick, but toxic. See how they tricked that word? They literally, to me, God spoke to me today and literally said they took the word sick, and made it that comes from toxic, and they put it as its own word to make you afraid and to make you not accountable for what you're doing to your body, what you're putting in your body, all the surroundings, all the people you hang around, all of that, which I found he literally was like a whew, hello. All right, here we go. So last week, my mom makes pumpkin bread every year for like the family, right? It's so good. It's like, I mean, there's sugar in it. There's all the stuff that that I don't eat very much of anymore. But like when you do, like, okay, when you get healthy and your body becomes healthier, what happens? Your level of being able to tolerate bad stuff, sugar, alcohol, all that stuff, becomes less and less, right? I love when people say, "Oh, it's just a little bit. There's not much. It's just a little bit." When you get healthy, you can't even have a little bit because it will completely ruin your mind, your how you feel, your energy. It will completely destroy that, right? So, last week I had a loaf, my mom gave me a loaf of pumpkin bread and I split it up probably over 4 days, right? And I knew it had sugar, so I don't even need anyone's judgment because I already was like, "Oof, here we go," right? So I had the loaf of pumpkin bread within a week, right, over the course of a couple days. I then, which is just so interesting, I then went out to dinner with a friend, and I then was out on the road on, I think it was Monday of this week, and had to eat a hoagie, as we call it here in Philadelphia, a hoagie, and full of like lunch meats and stuff, which is just, they're terrible for you, absolutely terrible. And no joke, not only was I constipated, I was so anxious, depressed, did not sleep well, didn't feel like exercising, any of that. And that was only what, 3 or 4 days of eating sugar / pumpkin bread, and not like a little just like little pieces, like, this big, right? Or round and like about that thick, right? I was just like, oh, it's fine. It's only a little bit, right? That's the mind. It's only a little, you'll be fine. So when I tell you I was super anxious, incredibly depressed, it should just show you I'm not sick. I was toxic. And I couldn't take a deep breath because when you're like your body is just like so everything is just like tight in your stomach that you can't even breathe because there's just like so much toxicity in there. I couldn't breathe deeply. I could not sleep well. Couldn't pass a bowel movement to save my life. And that was like brutal. Okay. Then on Friday, I finally passed my bowel movement, right? And when I tell you, I'm getting chills right now as I say it. When I tell you, I literally felt all of my anxiety leave my body, all of the depression leave my body because of getting all that toxicity out of my body. It woke me up to, I wasn't sick, I was toxic. So, Matt, what are you trying to say here? What I'm trying to say is, stop, because of the word sick, stop treating your body like crap to have a treat, right? I think we get into this and I always tell my clients this, always, because I don't like to shame anybody into this like space. It's all about having compassion and sympathy for where somebody is at, and I totally understand that. However, we have gotten into this place of not being accountable for what we put in our body because we want to indulge, right? It's just a little. It's just a little. Guess what? That little bit can completely destroy all your hard work. It completely can take your mental up a good mental space that you're in. It can take it completely out and wipe it away. So I want you to be very intentional on using the words sick and toxic. I really truly believe that all sickness now, I mean, I've believed this for a long time, but this just kind of confirmed it for me, right? Sickness is parasitic in nature because parasites crave sugar and they will cause you to be bloated. They will cause you to have depression, anxiety, all of it. Because when I tell you, and this is no joke, folks, when I tell you, when I pass my bowel movement, I could literally see a parasite in my bowel movement. And that is because I've been cleansing my body of parasites for over probably about 8 months now. So anybody who's not a believer, that's fine. I know that everyone is, everyone's in their own space and they need to come to things on their own time. I am telling you, most disease is parasitic in nature. And when you get the toxins out of your body, and by that I mean the food that you eat, the Doritos that you eat and you feed your children, the goldfish that are full of glyphosate out of your family's kitchen, all the junk food, just stop. And before, I know some of y'all have kids, and that's fine. Guess what? It's something hard to take, and I get that. But you will see your children change so fast because they are eating proper nutrition. They aren't eating a bunch of junk food that is just causing them to go into a mental tailspin because that's what it does. Like I said, for guys, I'm very healthy. I'm a very healthy person and very positive in nature, right? I felt horrible, absolutely horrible. Couldn't breathe. I cried a lot last week just because of just what it felt like. It was just terrible. And so when I tell you, you are not sick, you are toxic, it will change your mentality around how you treat yourself and how you treat your body. It's unbelievable. Because since yesterday, when I passed my final bowel movement after the week, and I have I don't care about talking about this stuff because I talk about it every day. When you treat your body correctly, it works so awesome for you. Today, I woke up in a great mood. Yesterday, I had a great day, right? Today, I mean, it's just your brain goes into a different space, your mind goes into an elevated space because you're no longer full of toxins. You're no longer full of those things that are keeping you down, okay? So I'm going to tell you here and now, when you drink water, you sleep and you prioritize your sleep, you prioritize what you're putting in your body. There is no shame in going to a restaurant and asking the chef or asking your server, what did you cook that meat in? And asking the server, important questions like that. What did you cook your meat in? Are you marinating that chicken in something? What is it, right? There's no shame in asking these questions. I think a lot of people have shame because they're just like, oh, I don't want to be annoying. Guess what? If your health is important to you, you will be annoying. I ask these questions every day. Anytime I go out to eat, I always ask them. What's funny is that when I went out on Saturday, I didn't ask the question, and that's probably why I didn't feel so hot, right? This is also something very fascinating for you people who I don't mean to sound rude, but for people who, not for you people, for people who think that when you go into a hot flash or into a sweat or get the flu or any of that stuff, that you think you're sick. You are not sick. When you get hot, okay, so on Monday, I was out on the road, I ate that sandwich, and I went to a hair appointment. I sat in that chair, and within 30 minutes, my body went into a full sweat. No joke, full sweat. Even my barber was like, "You okay?" And I was like, "No, I don't know what's going on with my body." I literally thought, I didn't know what was happening. I've never felt like that, right? I never went into just by sitting there. I never went into a full sweat just by sitting in a chair, right? And then as I listened to something this week, and as God was speaking to me, he just said to me, you were toxic, and that is how your body was getting rid of it. That's how your body was coming back to being healthy and to getting it out, right? My body needed to sweat that out, right? Most people go, oh my God, I'm sweating. Oh my God, I have diarrhea. Oh my gosh, it is your body's way of draining and getting out toxins. There is no shame in that. And I think that we have gotten into this place of being sick because you can when you're sick, you can do whatever you want because sickness is normal. It's not normal, okay? Toxicity is normal, but it's not good, right? So your body getting rid of toxins is a good thing. We look at things like diarrhea, sweating, flu symptoms, temperature rising as a bad thing. It's not. It is a way for your body to literally come back to regulating itself to be healthy. And your body needs to go through those things to get back to true health, okay? So I hope this helps you because it literally opened my eyes so much this whole week. God humbled me and said, you did this. You're the one who ate the sugar. You're the one who ate out. You're the one who ate that sandwich. You did that. Now you have to reap the consequences. You need to handle the consequence. And it was not cute. And I did not like it. I felt terrible. And I didn't want to go live this week because I just felt like garbage. I felt like garbage. So I just want you all to know out there that you might need some accountability. If you do, please reach out because I really do think that there is a lack of accountability, and you don't need to do this alone. There is a lack of accountability because you think you deserve to eat cake. You think you deserve to go to Dunkin' Donuts and have 4 donuts, and then you wonder why you get sick the next day. You think it's okay to eat sugar because you haven't had a piece of cake in 6 months. Guess what? Again, there's no shame in having a little piece every now and then, but What I'm telling you is that that's fine. Just like what I did, it's fine. But don't be surprised when you don't feel well the next day. Don't be surprised when your body is reacting to get things out of you, like having diarrhea symptoms, having a cough, having an itchy throat, getting sweaty. Like, your body needs to do these things naturally. That's why I actually always will tell people, if you ever eat anything crappy and put anything in your body that you know you shouldn't, the next day try and sweat. Really, and I mean sweat. Like, go to a sauna, go do a massive cardio or a good lift or something along those lines, because your body needs to sweat that out and get those toxins out. That is why exercise is so important, especially if you ever do stuff like that. But when you don't, and when you treat your body well and you start feeling stronger, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, why did I ever do that to myself? Why do I put that stuff into my body? Again, it's an accountability level, right? It's accountability of not eating sugar, right? Sugar has inflated. We used to eat like, I can't remember you know what I can actually do? Hold, please. This is just something that I think is massively important. There is a graph that shows how much sugar. Here it is. By the age of 8 years old, the average American child has consumed more sugar than what was consumed in an entire lifetime 150 years ago. So in 1820, in a year, people would eat close to like 5 pounds of sugar. 5 pounds of sugar in a year. Now, the average American consumption is 100 pounds of sugar in a year. That is astonishing to me. So we went, I mean, I'm gobsmacked by that. Are you getting it? We eat more sugar now in our life than they did 150 years ago, and we wonder why we're the sickest we've ever been. Listen, folks, I realize that this is hard for a lot of people to handle sometimes, and like all these realities, sometimes you don't want to face the reality of, oh, I eat fine. Oh, do you? And this isn't, again, it's not judgment. It's just accountability. There's nothing wrong with accountability. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be healthy. We need to get out of this space that, again, and I'm going to be honest here, I'm all about being positive about how you about where you're at in your life. There's nothing wrong with being positive, but let's not confuse health with being overweight and being toxic. Okay, let's not confuse the two, because being overweight is not healthy. Okay, there are ways out of it, and a lot of it usually comes down to having someone to keep you accountable, having someone that can be patient with you, and having someone that can really just feed you the truth, even though you might be a little afraid to hear it every now and then. And that's okay. That's okay. But what I'm going to just reiterate is that you are not sick. You are toxic. There is a toxic load in you that needs to be addressed, and it's time to confront those things in you, right? It could be it's not always food related too, right? People always think it's just nutrition and exercise. You have to get the toxic emotion that you've been holding inside of you for so many years, the anger, the resentment, the bitterness, all of that is toxic, right? You might have toxic people in your life that aren't helping you forward, and that can mean family, unfortunately, right? There are so many factors to health and to positive health, and there are steps. You don't need to do, again, there's so many people that, want to kind of do everything and all or nothing this journey. You can't, this is something that you will be doing for the rest of your life. for the rest of your life. You will have to make mindset shifts around food. You'll have to make mindset shifts around exercise. You have to understand that when your body is toxic, not sick, toxic, when it's toxic and parasitic and all these things are inside of you, you need to get rid of them, right? Your body needs to get rid of all that, drain all that stuff out of you, right? When you start to realize these things, even though they might be hard, and I get it, even though they might be hard, when you start to realize these things, you will start to see your whole life shift. And I pray that all of you who are listening, or all of you who watched later today or next week or what have you, that you just hear me in a way that is, it's because I care so much about anyone who comes into my life who wants help, or friends and family, anybody that wants help and wants to get on the journey of true health and care, that you just understand that there are so many of us out there that really do want you to be well and want you to stop relying on other people that only want you to be sick, right? See what I said there? That they want you to be sick. So I'm going to tell you here and now, if you need help in any way, mental, physical, nutritional, any of that, please reach out. If not to me, find someone in your area. It could be anybody on lots. There's so many resources out there now. Just don't be afraid to go there and to want to get healthy and to want to learn more and to ask questions. And listen, I'll be the first to tell you, if I don't know something, I don't know, but I will find out. That's just how I roll. I always have, because I think education is super important. And I want you to be healthy. I want you to be well. I want you to thrive. I want you to create. I want you to enjoy your life. I want you to feel good. I want you to think well. I want you to bring good people into your life and get people out that don't, vibe with you. I want that for you. So I hope this helps. I hope this whole idea of being sick it probably won't happen right here, right now, but maybe for some of you, it might go, oh, wow, I never thought of it like that, right? So I hope that you receive this message in a way that is coming from total care, that I believe that you're not really sick. I believe that you're just really toxic, and that you can, and I have resources that can help you. And I want to help you. I think a lot of people out there that I know of personally, they just want you to be healthy, because when you're healthy, our whole world is healthy. And then we're all good and we're all peaceful, and we all can have good discussions and grow together and have positive relationships but also be able to just have really just converse with one another. So that's where it all comes down to, is that when you get healthier, you actually can have deep conversations. You can have these conversations that are elevating you and challenging you and bringing you closer to God and bringing you closer to your purpose and all of that. So I really hope this helps. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Remember, you're not sick, you're toxic, and that there's always new levels of healing and new levels of emotional healing, physical healing, nutritional healing. There's so many ways of healing and so many modalities of healing now, that just be open-minded to things and don't be afraid of letting go. I hope you guys have a great weekend. God bless you all. Happy Saturday.